Today I don't have my book with me. I memorize things from my book and deliver the information verbally without the help of the book. This belongs to my video series called Me and My Boy. Excuse me, Me and a Boy. Yeah. Today is the 13th of July 2017. Yeah. I actually managed to get photographs of a boy who looks like that boy in my videos, and Leonardo da Vinci's main art student Giacomo Caprotti da Oreno. And I release those photos in this video, especially because somebody might produce again photographs having a lookalike guy from my boy and accuse me of this and that, just like last time in the city of Sofia, Bulgaria in the year 2012. It's a crime called forgery and a fraud, and the crime called making false testimonies to the cops, to the prosecutor, to the judge, and also a crime called labeling and defaming. It was all over Bulgaria's newspapers, I mean the news, that I had kidnapped and sexually molested a 12-year-old Arsen Vaskov Metodiev named a boy, Sofia city gypsy boy named Arsen Vaskov Metodiev. In the month of June or July 2012. That was 100% bullshit. And there was another boy. They used lookalike photos to stage and frame me to be guilty of crimes which I never committed. And I fortunately managed to get those photos, even though they were not included in the court documents. I was never interrogated about those alleged crimes. I was thrown to prison just like a stray dog from the streets. And I had to stay in prisons in Sofia continually for the total of 1 year and 5 months without any kind of trial concerning my case. I had a couple of bail courts in which I was able to ask for my release from prison to wait for the court, but those bail courts did not grant me that. My request was denied. So at first I stayed 1 year and 5 months continually in Sofia city prisons in Bulgaria, based on the basis of false charges and without a trial and without police interrogations. All that was based on photographs which were staged and framed to make me look like guilty of crimes which I never committed. They used look-alike actors, and I I was able to prove all that beyond any doubt, beyond any shadow of a doubt, in my book called Columbus and Gospel Country Micronation, Aare Lehtonen's Book of Complaint to European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. It has 2,110 pages in it. I still have real photos of the so-called plaintiffs who were actually fake plaintiffs, but nevertheless I have photographs, face photos of those plaintiffs in my case, as well as photos which were staged to make me look like guilty of crimes which I never committed. There were 2 plaintiffs and so-called eyewitnesses. There were about 10. Yeah. So that's why I release look-alike photos of that Leonardo da Vinci's main art student. In this video, just in case somebody might use similar photos to stage and frame me to become guilty of crimes which I never committed, like last time in the city of Sofia. I'm in Nesebar city, Bulgaria right now, at the Black Sea coast. Hold on. Dobre, nie opačenie, otívame 700 pri more, ti itva stamnali pri naš, ja plastom od sisku. A iskam pravi video pri more, pri mumče, i iliču majka itva, i ako te iskas itva, plastom samo petleva kraj. Ti itva stuk 700 na iliču. Dobre, pravi telefon sa mene kukatuti si tam, a sam sega pri tua more uličina. A sam tam sega pri tua kolam uliča koji otiva na gore nasad. Ne, a sam mohli raskotka i pravi video samo sam. A čakam 7 Ne, ja ne otiva dom, a sam vanka do 7, ja sam otiva direktno od ulica na Iliću. A sam sega mala distancija od more, samo važno je ti znaš, a sam pri Iliću točno 7 časa i ti si tam točno. Da, i pravi signal pri moj telefon когато ti si tam. I ja idvam. I čao. Here is the tourist season, as you can see, the 13th of July 2017, and I have to wait for 1 hour before I can make a video with that boy. Now it's 6 p.m. and I can go there at 7 o'clock, but then we will go to the seashore and I will make videos from the seashore, alright? So I have 1 hour time to hang around here before I can video record that boy. So in my previous video I recorded a lot of time after I had video recorded that boy, so now it's vice versa. I record that boy and that clip will be towards the end of this video. I must invent some topic now, because all of my videos are like extempore, that means spontaneous. I don't prepare myself to my videos in any way at all. Okay, I will speak about the use of lookalike actors in videos. I will speak about lookalike actors because it's a dangerous practice. It's a crime called forgery and a fraud and defaming and labeling, and also a crime called giving false testimonies to the cops, to the prosecutor, to the judge, etc. You know, this thing is absurd. Just to get rid of somebody, they stage photographs to look like that the defendant is or has taken them or is actually inside the photos committing some crime, you know. Hold on, pause. I paused now. Okay, we are here now at the sea, as you can see. We are at the sea. Добре, къде има хубаво место? Къде има хубаво место за това? Той отива на вода до това. Добре, отиваме. Отиваме сега. I'm here at the sea, at the Black Sea in Bulgaria. Alright. As you can see, I'm at the sea. That rhymes poetically. Oti vaan Markku, tuk hei, oot tuk. Hitpa tuk. Säkin, ostavi tämän. Dobre, čega? I go to that direction so that man cannot complain that he's gonna make a scene, I suppose. Some weirdo, some nutcase is gonna come to the shore from the right side and he's gonna complain that I'm video recording him. He's gonna make a scene, you know. Govori. Ha? So everybody is making video or photograph because this is a tourist resort. This is a tourist resort. This is called the Sunny Beach. sunny beach, you know. The tourist resort full of people during summer season. Classic. This is there are even more of these seashores all over the place. So as you can see, I'm here with all that seashore, Black Sea coast, and now the Guardian, the Lady Guardian. Oti vaan samo kovarin esto. Ne voi seistua. Samo. Ne. Da. Gleda kamera. Yeah, super. This is super good. This is the weather. I mean, the weather is ideal. Almost no clouds anywhere. Only a little bit over there. So. As one can imagine, you know, over there, behind that horizon lies the new continent, because I believe there is no Antarctica at all. So it's only open sea leading to the new plate-shaped Earth, which has its own rotating sun and moon above it. Just by sailing far enough, one can reach that new plate-shaped Earth or flat Earth from our own plate-shaped Earth, flat Earth. So this boy, katu gleda tam. Da. Gleda. I gleda tam. Čekaj malo. Hey, gleda se tam. Yeah, this boy is as if watching to the horizon, so that he as if knows that there is more land beyond Antarctic territorial waters, because it is written in the Bible and in the Bible's Genesis that in the beginning there was only a vast expanse of water. The Bible does not mention anything about these icy, ice wall surrounding the plate-shaped Earth. Besides, the Bible confirms that the Earth is flat, but there is no mention about Antarctica whatsoever. So I think it is the situation in which my theory is correct. Who knows? This boy might have arrived from the other continent beyond Antarctica territorial waters, but he doesn't speak about it, or he does not remember because he was too small when he came here. But I believe that my theory is correct, but I cannot prove it. I just have circumstantial evidence about Antarctic things. I think Antarctica ice wall and eternal snow and ice over there is just a similar hoax as moon landing. Similar hoax similar hope which is presented to us to keep us without exploring new continents. I think it is the situation. Oti vaan selityksiä. I think it is the case. Kare toi oti. Toi oti vaan ostenali. Jackie Malko. Hei, oste, hei. Govori toi oste itva tuk tiisenis kamera. Hätä tuu aspäivi moi opusta klytsvis.
Dobre.
Hei, itva, hei. Itva. Teni tuva, doolo. Itva tuk sedi. Iti itvas tuk. I pravis video tuomata nepipanistu.
Dobre.
Tässä mun viisi tuo rapoti. Oh yeah. I'm checking if this works. Okay. Tuomata muusi viisi.
Da.
So here I am at the Black Sea coast of Bulgaria. Today is the 13th of July 2017. And okay, I will pause now. Stay online. Okay, now we will leave this area. We will go out of this seashore resort. Quite a lot of people over here. But during the winter time, actually starting from October until April, this area is completely deserted. It's just... It doesn't have anybody at all except some random guy in the morning walking his dog. So this area has no people from October to April. And the entire city Nesebari looks like a ghost town. There are even more, sunny beaches, sunny beach. Tami mä viinekin ostiko tuu stansabriak nekade dupmest. Samo tuk.
Ama lančobriak?
Da. Samo iskam snaj. Ne iskam otiu. People are staring at me. They suspect all kinds of things. Let them stare. For two reasons actually. Because of my messy outlook and because of that small guy. I don't care. Like I said, all kinds of weird fantasies people have in their own mind. Dobre. Okay, I will buy some ice cream. I pause now, stay online. Excuse me. I think that somebody might have taken photos. I will ask. Ti veli nekoj žena može bi pravi snimki od na telefon od naš ili ne? Ne. Okay, maybe that's my own fantasy. So I was buying ice cream, but I myself, I am actually drinking Coca-Cola. I must change the position of the camera because pravi malko, samo drži malo, kraj.
Dobre.
Otivam me, ideš tu.
Dobre.
Stan se tam,
Vai, hubu.
Obače. Stavi. To pogledaj, vi?
Va.
Ajme. Okay, here we are. Ti viš tuva duma ne se bar hajde od tuva signal, viš. Ali tuva ne od kamera, od tuva viš. I was here for a lot of times. Before the summer, in the spring 2017, making a lot of videos, and in many of them I actually showed the sign which had the text Nesebar over here, but they have actually changed the entire sign. Нали? Преди време тук пише Несебар, всичко. Това е други.
Да.
Ама защо? Къде пише Несебар? Никъде.
Никъде, тук никъде, да. Това преди пише Несебар.
И това е саботаж или некой прави лошо?
Не.
Само хора changed. Yeah, I don't know why they changed. Okay. I'm still in Nesebar, nevertheless. Maybe that building can be a landmark in order to prove that I'm here. Because seldom buildings are exactly lookalikes unless they are made in the same location. Окей, отивам. Или искате спокойно яш тук?
Не, няма нещо. Може на пътя.
Добре.
Хайде.
Because if somebody has taken a photograph of me and claims some bullshit story along with that photo, then I can verify that I myself have also made a video in the same location, and I have an extra eyewitness with me, an adult who can testify that nothing bad happened. It's very important to take these kinds of things into consideration, because humans can do all kinds of nasty things to each other when it comes to an adult man hanging around with a minor boy in a public area. Yeah, the two of us in the same video screen. I hope we are getting captured together to the video screen. Now I must move to the sidewalk because to walk on the road is not good. Otivam. So, Chakimok. Drastua. Pravi vama ta prinosi. So I hope this video recording has been all good, and the quality of my camera is not very good because I cannot afford to buy an expensive camera. Yeah. Добре, по-добре аз плащам сега.
Да, сега.
И аз отива директно на дом.
Да, ти директно отиваш и ни прибираме, да?
Да. Hold on, I pause, stay online. Yeah. I cannot be sure now what the time is, but I must check so that if anybody has something to complain, or if somebody tries to falsify some video or photograph from that same seashore area, so I can verify the time. Today is the 13th of July 2017, and the thing is that time exactly is 19 minutes past 7 p.m. So I am here recording this video, and I actually had recorded that portion of this video before 7 o'clock p.m. So can you imagine, I have to make sure that I cover my back against all kinds of false accusations, because in the city of Sofia people gave false testimonies to the cops that I had kidnapped 2 underage boys, the other one being 12 years old and the other one being 7 years old. And those false accusations were based on falsified photographs, you know, photoshopped photographs in which they used look-alike actors, but they forgot to notice that the forms of ears, the patterns of ears of a human being, they don't change all of a sudden to be completely different, which was the case in the of course it was the case when it came to look-alike actors and those plaintiffs. I have photographs of those plaintiffs as well as those falsified photos with look-alike actors who had completely different ear forms, ear patterns. So can you imagine? They forgot that little detail, but I noticed it, and that alone is evidence that the boys in those photos are not the plaintiffs. They are some other people whom the KGB used. Actually, in the New York Times there was a large news article about Eastern European KGB, how it falsifies the evidence and using ordinary citizens as decoys for foreign tourists from whom the KGB distorts a lot of money after the KGB arrests them to prison on the basis of false charges and indefinitely. It means that they can keep foreign tourists in prisons in Bulgaria for many years without a trial, without any police interrogations. And New York Times actually exposed this I copied that news article to my book. And I have photos of, I have those falsified photos as well as photos of the plaintiffs themselves. So I have put them side by side on the pages of my 2,110 page book to show that, yeah, those guys in the photos are different people, although they look quite the same, but the forms of their right ears differ very much. And if somebody suspects that I have changed the forms of ears in those alleged kidnapping photographs, you know, the Interpol can return any photoshopped picture to its original form. It has the ways to do that. Just like it was the case of the so-called Canadian world face, spelled like WHWHIRLFACE, world face, you know, when this Canadian teacher had molested young boys in Southeast Asia, and he had actually photographed himself naked with those naked Southeast Asian boys in the same photos. But what that Canadian teacher did was that he whirled his face to be unrecognizable, and he released those photos on the internet. But the Interpol was able to return the original face form of that Canadian teacher in those photos. Similarly, if somebody suspects that I have falsified the forms, the patterns of the ears in those so-called kidnapping photographs, you know, the Interpol is able to discover the original picture from all kinds of photoshopping manipulations. So I have not touched or retouched those so-called kidnapping photos at all. I just have released them as they were, just like the KGB released them in their original form. And in those original photos, you know, the real patterns and real forms of the right ears of those lookalike actors can be seen clearly that they are very different from the plaintiffs of my so-called case, which number was 1449/2014, and there is the letter G and full stop. This is the code of my court case in Bulgaria. I repeat, 1449/2014 G, the letter G, alright? So can you imagine this? That's why I must take extreme precautions when it comes to that boy whom I am teaching in this city Nesebor in Bulgaria in Southeast Europe. This city Nesebor is at the Black Sea coast of Bulgaria. So I must take extreme precautions that nobody afterwards tries to claim with photoshopped and staged photos that I have done something bad to that boy, whom you just saw in this video and in my previous videos as well, in my YouTube channel called The $6 Million Man from Finland. Okay, so that nobody tries to claim some or file some false reports about me, which would be a crime in itself. That's why I cover my back a lot. And I explain these things in my videos. If I didn't explain, I would be arrested probably again by the Bulgarian KGB from the Sofia headquarters, the Sofia city headquarters. Sofia city is the capital city of Bulgaria. Because they staged and framed me to be guilty of crimes which I never committed in the year 2000 and 12. So if they try to do the same thing again, I have prepared myself very well against all kinds of false accusations. That's why I must release some photos of that lookalike guy in the photos, who looks like the boy in my videos, in this video and in my previous videos, as well as he looks like, I mean, they both look like Leonardo da Vinci's main art student named Giacomo Caprotti da Oreno. From the portrait painting made by Leonardo da Vinci in 1490. So I have to do a lot of explanations. I have to make a lot of explanations in order to make sure that those KGB guys in the city of Sofia won't try again some evil plans, that they won't try to carry out some evil plans against me, that I would be arrested again to prison for many years without a trial, without any police interrogations, just like last time. I want to make sure that this thing will never happen again, that I have the human right to assemble with a minor boy inside a house and outside of the house in public areas. I mean, take a look. I could now point my camera everywhere on the sidewalks of this Nesebar city, Bulgaria. On these sidewalks there are walking entire families with small children. And who knows, are they really families or not? But nevertheless, adult people with small children walking around everywhere during this tourist season. It has been going on for the entire summer, as it does every summer here. So why would I be denied that kind of human right to assemble with people whom I choose? It's nobody else's business. Alright? So I am of the opinion that, and it's not only an opinion, it's a fact, it's a truth. It's the truth that any kind of false report about anybody is a serious crime, like it is stated in Finland's Penal Code, chapter number 15. I must repeat these things all over again. To falsify the evidence, to give false testimonies to the police, to the prosecutor, to the judge, and things like that. There are heavy crimes punishable by 4 years of imprisonment at maximum, at most. All right. So I hope my viewers get my point, because I'm not making this up. This all is based on human rights, first of all, because in the constitutional law of the European Union, and Bulgaria belongs to the European Union as well as Finland, where I come from. The entire European Union constitution states that there is this freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of expression. Excuse me. Freedom of religion is essential. So I can believe what I want to believe, as long as it does not hurt others physically. My religious views might hurt somebody's feelings, but that is not a sufficient cause to for anybody to try to restrict my freedom of religion. Like when I say that I don't believe that there is any eternal ice and snow-covered Antarctica, it's based on my biblical interpretation. It's not an interpretation, actually, it's a pure fact that there is only an endless expanse of water, just like it is explained in the Genesis. That is the first book of the entire Bible. the first book of the Old Testament. So this is my religious view, and if somebody gets hurt in feelings because of this, it's not a crime, because you cannot please everybody all the time. Only if somebody's religious views would hurt physically other people, then it would be a crime, of course. But ordinary crime laws would just, and they actually suffice to take care of such a person who, to put him away for a long time so that he is not able to hurt other people anymore. It doesn't matter if somebody hurts other people on the basis of some religious views or not. Hurting is hurting. Okay? So I don't hurt, and my religious views don't hurt anybody. On the contrary, I want to give joy to people, and I don't encourage anybody to commit a crime. If I did that would be a crime as well. There are penal code paragraphs concerning these issues also. So can you imagine this thing? And also threats. In Finland's penal code we have a thing called illegal threats. A legal threat would be like a police station sends a note to somebody who is to be interrogated that if he doesn't show up at the police station at a particular date and time, he would be fined. That is a legal threat. But illegal threat is like to say that I will kill you because of this and that. That is illegal threat, punishable in the court of law. Alright? I don't threat anybody. On the contrary, I have received a lot of death threats during many years. And those death threats are illegal. They are a crime as such. There is no legitimation for death threats. And nobody can say that I can threat you with death because you deserve it. No. In all cases, that is illegal activity to threat somebody verbally or by a written word. Alright? And distortion, that means blackmailing, that is also a crime. So, to say to somebody that I'm gonna do something bad to you if you don't comply, if you don't obey my orders, or if somebody says that I will kill you if you don't obey my orders, if you don't behave or act in a certain way, I will do something bad to you or even kill you. That is illegal. I must clarify these things from the penal code of Finland, and those same kind of penal codes are in use all over European Union. So can you imagine this situation? So that there is no difference if somebody commits such a crime from the United States, from Finland, from Bulgaria, because basically the penal codes of the United States are the same as in European Union. So the distance doesn't matter. If somebody thinks that he is able to, or he's allowed to break the law, when he threats somebody from a great distance, geographical distance that is, that he's able to send death threats or whatever. He's able to distort or blackmail or give false reports about somebody to the law enforcement authorities. I mean, it's all illegal. It doesn't matter from which country such things are done. Geographical distances don't matter. All right? Because if and when these things are crime in the country of the victim, then one becomes guilty nevertheless. Because there is a crime committed in the country of the victim's residence. So there is no safe haven, there is no safe country for anybody to try to hide from the crimes which one commits online or through physical paper letters or through phone calls or through Skype conversation, whatnot, Facebook, Messenger, whatnot. I must clarify all these things because there are people online who have been harassing me and threatening me and stalking me at times as well on the internet. So I must clarify that my explanations of the penal codes are accurate and correct. I'm not making this up. I know the law. I have studied the law quite a lot. Because of the stalkers who claim that I am stalking children or something like that. You know, they just project their own evil and weird fantasies upon me. They think that they would feel better afterwards, but it is not the case. It is not so. Nobody should be made a garbage can, trash can, for one's own bad feelings which are being caused by other reasons than the guy who is being vomited on, who is being thrown upon. You know, this complicated psychological issue, and those stalkers don't even realize what they are doing. They think that they can use other people as their personal garbage trash cans. Garbage cans, you know, this is normal psychology which anybody can understand actually, because there is a specific legislation concerning these issues, and I am just making this like an explanatory portion of this video, because I don't want to be the target of that shitstorm. Which arises out of nothing. I mean, over nothing. I am like being a scapegoat, spelled like S-C-A-P-E-G-O-A-T, scapegoat. But it's a crime to use somebody as a scapegoat, like I have explained in detail throughout this video and in my many other videos as well. Scapegoat, for heaven's sakes. If somebody is jealous or envy that I hang around with minor boys, that is, especially one particular specific minor boy, if they are jealous and if they want to have same kind of life, why don't they just travel to Eastern European countries and try to get acquainted with such minor boys, because there are plenty of them in these parts of Europe, in Southeast Europe especially. So they might become happy themselves. But I just have to warn that stay out of sexual relationships when it comes to minors. Otherwise, most certainly there would be an arrest and even false charges. I mean, I cannot recommend or prohibit anybody. I cannot recommend things or prohibit things because I have no authority. I'm not a cop, I'm not a prosecutor, I'm not a judge. I just tell that if somebody wants to have a nice relationship with a minor boy, a gay relationship that is, I don't recommend heterosexual relationships, but gay relationships, they can be acquired in certain parts of the world, but like I said, snitch citizens who file reports over nothing, who report false things about people, and the KGB and other secret service police in various countries all over the world, you know, the risks are so huge that I cannot recommend, but I cannot prohibit anybody to try out. So it's no use in being jealous about my activities. Anybody can do as I do. I mean, anybody can hang around with minors in certain countries in the world, but one must take extreme precautions. But in the end, it could all turn out to be very nice when it comes to a beautiful relationship between an adult man and a minor boy, as long as there is not any kind of sexual activity going on between those two. But that's what the freedom of assembly means. To hang around normally, to discuss normally, is a basic human right. And I must also warn that sexual molestation of minors is strictly criminalized all over the world. Nowadays, basically every country is having such legislation. It was a different situation like 30 or 40 years ago, because the age of consent was much lower in several countries, but they had to raise that age of consent in many countries because of the demands of the world leading countries like the United States and many European countries as well, who have been dictating to other countries, governments, what kind of legislation, age of consent there should be. And those countries have followed those orders, so it's not like 30 or 40 years ago anymore. But if you stay out of sexual relationship, if your relationship is based on spirituality, religiousness, or just a normal friendly relationship which should have spiritual and religious aspects as well, to be able to keep out of trouble, then by all means it is legal to assemble with a minor. An adult man can assemble with a minor boy by all means. Okay, I stop recording now before this video becomes too long, so bye.